Each of the demands being put forward by the Toronto Underhouse and Homeless Union is an imperative and necessary for the scale and gravity of the crises that people in the city are experiencing. At Climate Justice Toronto, our understanding of climate justice is built on an intersectional lens. If folks in the city don't have access to safe, dignified, accessible, and affordable housing, there's nowhere we can go with climate mobilization. For us, housing justice is climate justice. It's important to highlight that when we experience extreme weather events, it's the underhoused and houseless populations that are sort of at the forefront of experiencing the largest brunt of those events. As we've seen in the evacuations of Yellowknife this summer, and who was the first to be forgotten? It was the folks on the street. It's outrageous that the demands that we're putting forward today are sort of the bare minimum of the asks for our local governments, to essentially listen to the people that the issues impact the most, that have the most lived experience. The city continues to fail its low-income community by not politically prioritizing their rights to safe and dignified housing. You cannot declare homelessness as a state of emergency while refusing to listen or actively attempting to hold meetings in local encampments, shelters, and service hubs. This, again, is the bare minimum the city can and must do. An immediate moratorium on TCHC and housing evictions, encampment clearings, service restrictions, and congregate shelters is vital. Where are folks supposed to go? The city needs to actively apply principles of harm reduction and anti-oppression into housing and shelter policies and procedures. Similarly, at Climate Justice Toronto, we echo that the city needs to redefine its affordable housing definition, especially to include all units to be fully accessible for people with disabilities and to be built to universal standards. It's not at all an anomaly that folks that are underhoused or houseless tend to be largely also folks that live with disabilities. In a cutthroat capitalist system where people are treated as disposable if they aren't productive in their labor capacity, it's vital that our city is doing the most to protect its most vulnerable people. We're really honored to be organizing on housing justice with you all, especially the York Southwest Tenants Union. We're inspired every day by the tenants organizing that is spreading like wildfire across the city, and it's a massive source of hope. Our city has been sold off to developers and their interests for too long, and it's time that we do the long-term work to reclaim this place for our communities. We're really proud to support this vital advocacy effort of the housing groups, and really hope and are working to see longer term that in Ontario we get more rent control, a moratorium on rent evictions, as a lack of these policies is further pushing people to the brink of houselessness, and the city needs to be advocating more at the provincial and federal level on behalf of Torontonians. Thank you so much, and we'll continue to amplify your work.